everyone. My name's Iris. I'm 7 years old, and I'm going to read you the book, The Meaning of Life. It's one of my favorite books by Bradley Trevor Grieve, best-selling author of the Blue Day book. Let's get reading! Prologue. Halt! Whoa! Stop right there! Before you read any further, there's something you really should know. You may have opened this little book expecting it to be filled with answers. But, surprise, surprise! It's actually a book about questions. This may not be what you wanted to hear. Next page. Most people don't like questions. They like answers. And if they don't get easy answers straight away, their eyes immediately start to glaze over. Pretty soon, they're off in a lovely daydream about dancing cupcakes, singing turnips, and soaking in a bathtub filled with warm vanilla custard. That's a crazy daydream. So, and this is important, if you feel like saying questions, who needs them? Then this is your last chance to throw this book away and wander off to watch reruns of Gilligan's Island. I repeat, this is your last chance. Well, I'm going to stay and read this book. The Meaning of Life. No matter how you look at it, life is strange. Very strange. For example, it's an indisputable fact that we all are made from the precise same substance as the most intelligent, creative, magnificent life forms in the entire universe. Furthermore, we are composed of the exact same atomic matter as the mightiest mountains on this planet and the brightest stars in the galaxy. You and me, made of star stuff, and everyone else around us. Of course, this is also true for, drumroll please, snails and potatoes and meatloaf. Perhaps that's why there's so much about life that doesn't make a great deal of sense. Confusing life itself. For starters, why are we so overly impressed by and obsessed with objects and achievements of immense scale? Huge skyscrapers. When it's actually the tiny little things that, when put together, make big things possible. Tiny little things. Teeny weeny. Why do we try to create our own little worlds so we have the illusion of being completely in control of our entire existence, when we know with absolute certainty that we are not? Why do we go on and on about individuality being the very essence of who we are? And then accept a degrading level of conformity in virtually every facet of our lives? Why do children believe in fairies, but grown-ups don't? Well, and why do we get so hung up on what we don't agree on, when in fact, it's our differences that make life interesting? After all, half the world is upside down. So there's absolutely no reason why we would all agree on everything. Even something as basic and profound as "don't chew with your mouth open" is not as widely accepted as you might think. Why is it that when passions are inflamed, we choose to argue and fight? When dancing that cha-cha is less injurious, far more enjoyable, and equally effective in resolving the tension? And why do we feel drawn together as a species? Yet, we steadily build up defensive barriers around our innermost feelings and beliefs, so we can never be truly close to anyone? I don't want to do that. And I don't want you to do it either. And don't inflame passions. Perhaps the confusion arises because life is not always what it seems. As a species, we are obsessed with superficial appearance. We all have filters on, so we mostly see only what we want to see. When you finally open your eyes, you may be shocked at the obscured way you have been viewing the world to suit your own little plans. Tiny little plans. With those filters removed, you can take a closer look into yourself and ask objective questions about the universe and your place in it. In other words, investigate the meaning of life. I think it's about enjoying life. So what is life all about? Well, you often hear that life is a journey. But a journey to where exactly? Some people say that life is all about acquiring knowledge. If that's true, then why do smart people dress so badly? There are those who say that life has no purpose. It just is. Whoa, that is just so deep. Then there are people who say that we're simply here to have a family. After all, the desperate need to replace ourselves is etched into the genetic map of every living thing. It's correct. Check mark. However, this means that our entire existence is driven by our primitive sexual urges. Okay, sure. A long weekend maybe, but our entire existence? I don't think so. In fact, come a tiny bit closer and I'll let you in on a little secret. All these ideas sound completely stupid. The only theme that resonates throughout the numerous popular life theories is love. Love, in all its fragile forms, is the one powerful, enduring force that brings real meaning to our everyday lives. All you need is love, love, love. Love is all you need. Of course, I'm not talking about the romantic kissy-kissy love. Although that is pretty powerful stuff in itself. It's well documented that a broken heart feels far more painful than squeezing lemon juice over a deep paper cut. But the lemon juice over a deep paper cut will kill the germs at least. But it's really painful. But the love I mean is the fire that burns inside us all. The inner warmth that prevents our soul from freezing in the winters of despair. It's the love of life itself. It's the voice that says, celebrate life, be creative. It brings with the passion and understanding that some things in life are worth dying for, but there's so much more worth living for. It encourages us to greet each moment the same way we greet an old friend at the airport, to embrace opportunities to express ourselves in a way that makes us feel glad we exist. I love existing. There's a lot of things that you could do. This love of life leads us to help others simply because it feels great to contribute to those around us. I help many people. Mom, Dad, and others too. Uh-oh, the chick's getting squashed. We all know how wonderful it feels to be a rock for our family and friends. Of course, there's a limit, like the chick getting squashed. You don't want to be a rook if there's an elephant around. You could get squashed flat like a pancake. But as good as it sounds, and as much as you're here to live the life you love, rings true! It still brings up a whole pile of sticky questions. Specifically, why exactly are you here? What is that you truly love? People who don't ask themselves these questions invariably go through life wondering why it isn't a lot more fun. I ask those questions and I have lots of fun. They often feel they've been left behind, just like that little poor dog over there. Or they can't quite put it into words, but they sense that something just smells a little funny. Pee-yoo! The truth is that often we're so focused on that we are doing that we lose sight of where we are going. But what are we actually doing? The modern world is filled with questionable distractions, deadlines, and priorities. You can have deadlines and priorities, but remember to have fun in life. Day and night blur into one. We get caught up in an avalanche of fears and desires that propel us into a race we can't possibly win. So we rush to get to a certain ideal point in our life. And then what? Like the penguins, they found a cliff. And then it looks like the one in front is saying, and now what? It's just like when you drive all the way to the store and get out of the car and then can't remember what you came for. Mom said that it happened to her sometimes. Sometimes it happens to me when Dad and I are driving to the store. So many of us start off dreaming about a wonderful life that is wild and free, like the horse. But that's usually a long way from where we actually end up. Like the pup in the office. Poor pup. Sadly, we often discover this fact right at the end when it's too late. You can't start all over again. And let me tell you, there are some awfully bad feelings in this world, like bubbles in the bath, guilt. I know what that means. Pungent foot odor in the store, embarrassment. I know that one too. And I can't believe I did that on the first date. Anxiety. I know that expression too. But of all the awful feelings that make you feel sick to your stomach, nothing feels half as bad as knowing you had a chance to do what you truly love and you didn't take it. So, what is your life's passion? What were you put on this earth to do? The answer to these questions will unlock the great mystery of life. It's as big as they come. Humongous! Here are a few hints that may help you get on the right track. First, no one is going to tell you about it. It's like walking around all day with a sign on your back that says, "Kick me." You must discover it for yourself. There's no sign here. It's also highly unlikely that one day you'll suddenly be bathed in a bright light and your life's purpose will be laid out in a divine vision. And it's guaranteed that you won't find it on television. Yes, it's remotely possible that one day the blood will rush to your brain and enable you to work it all out without too much bother. But the best way to spend some quality is time alone, asking yourself the tough questions. This exercise is not that hard, and it's all about being honest. It's as easy as raise your hand if you feel you could get more out of life. Me. It's also about getting to the essence of what really matters. Never mind who moved your cheese. Ask yourself why you were looking for cheese in the first place. I only look for cheese when I'm hungry for cheese. For some people, this will simply a case of seeking out the moments in their life that are beautiful and true, and then building a plan around them. I hope it's a good plan, not a bad one. For others, it may feel as if they are staring into an abyss. Whoa, that's so deep! In extreme cases, such intense introspection may cause the brain to swell to dangerous dimensions. Trust me, it's worth the risk. If you ask the big questions and listen carefully to your heart, you will eventually hear destiny call you. I think that's happened to me sometimes. A little voice, call it your conscience, your inner self, or your internal mother-in-law, will always tell you the truth if you are prepared to hear it. At first, you may only become aware of how your life has been stuck in a rut. Hey, join the club! Then you may realize what you really want, but you just can't quite make it happen. Like that poor little frog. It can't get water. I think it should ask someone. Pretty soon, it will hit you right between the eyes. Just like when you're halfway to the beach and suddenly you remember that you left the iron on at home. Whoa! It could cause a fire. Dangerous! And when you know, or even suspect you know, what you should be doing with your life, then do it! Take a wild leap in the dark if you have to. Then hit the ground running because you don't have a second to lose. In spite of our feelings and invincibility and immortality, our existence is far more tenuous than we might think. Place your hand over your chest and feel your heartbeat. That is actually your life clock ticking, counting down the moments you have left. One day it will stop. That is 100% guaranteed, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So you can't afford to throw away a single precious second. Go after your dreams with energy and passion, or you may as well stand back and watch them wash down the drain. I don't want that to happen. I'll plug the drain forever. Plug it forever, so it will not go down the drain like water. If you waste your life sitting on the fence, you'll end up going nowhere in the brief time you have left. And then, of course, there's a dangerous risk of splinters in delicate regions. Youch! Splinters! As they say, you can't cross a chasm in 2 small leaps. It takes courage and commitment to live your dreams. Of course, one needs to remember where courage ends and stupidity begins. The truth is, we are all born with potential greatness and blessed with numerous opportunities to soar to dizzying new heights. really dizzying, like when I spin around for 15 minutes. But sadly, many of us are too lazy, too concerned about what others might think, or too afraid of change to ever stretch our wings and realize our tremendous talents. It's so important that you just do your own thing. P.S. Unless it hurts others. Whatever makes you truly happy, and do it the best you can. It doesn't matter whether your thing is making snowballs, holding your breath underwater, hog calling, caw-caw, or wielding a hairdryer with dramatic effect. The only thing that matters is that you feel great about what you're doing. Keep in mind that whatever you do, mistakes are part of life. So don't waste time kicking yourself with the past. I'm not gonna kick my tush because of it. Don't stall or stress over whether you're doing the right thing. You'll always know the answer is in your heart. Rather than being discouraged, always remember that rejection and resistance are almost guaranteed when you are doing something very important and very special. When you set out to live your dreams, lots of people, including those who loves you the most, will try to hold you back. In this world, there are many miserable pessimists who have given up their dreams and will tell you, you're wasting your time. You'll never make it. You may well be surrounded by people who secretly want you to achieve less or even fail, just so they don't look bad. They'll say, it's not worth it, and it's not right for you anyway. I'll never listen to them. So it's important to understand that following your own path is incredibly rewarding, but it's definitely not easy, like the chicken on the line. It's really hard doing tight roping. Really hard. Really, really hard. Like everyone else, you will have some days that are better than others. Occasionally, everything may seem like a total disaster area. People will look at you strangely when you tell them what you are trying to achieve. And you'll start to listen to your detractors and doubt yourself. Why, oh why didn't I keep my job selling hot dogs? Dancing hot dogs dream. But whatever happens, just hang on! Remember that everybody struggles at times. It's incredibly draining to live through the day doing something you really don't enjoy or even care about. Just stop doing it. But if you follow your dreams, at least you will exhaust yourself doing what you love you most. Even if it's rolling balls of yarn around the room. Now, you may not think that this will measure up to much in the global scheme of things, but believe me, it does! When you get the most out of your life, savoring every last drop. It'll transform everything about you from ordinary to extraordinary. When you do what you love, you can pull back the bed sheets every morning feeling excited about the beginning of another day. And you'll be filled with a heartfelt joy that is highly contagious, just like those little pigs over there. Just like when you start laughing out loud and you make someone else start laughing. And then someone else. And until you are laughing so hard that your eyes water, you get terrible stomach cramps. It's hard to breathe, and you can't even stand up. But the best of all, by doing the things that make your whiskers curl up with delight, assuming, of course, that you actually have whiskers, you will inspire someone else to go after their dreams, like the polar bear, hoping to find dreams, hopping on the water. And that, my friend, is how you change the world. I have many ideas on how to change the world. Tell people to follow their dreams. Make people not pollute. And make the world a better place by keeping it clean and no bad people and no guns. Unless it's frosting guns that you just and then you go and the cupcake is done. You know what? Even if you make big mistakes, if you're wrong about almost everything, you'll still enjoy an amazing, fun-filled life adventure. You will go to sleep at night knowing you gave all your all and made a difference. And wake up each day looking forward to a future that is as beautiful and exciting as you can imagine. You know something else? If you just listen to your heart and use your head, you'll never be wrong. The end. And that's the meaning of life. The end. Get it? The end. This is the end of the part, the book. The end of the book. See?